catching up with what's going on with ISMA. Only 2 more races left on the schedule, and they just did the third and final of a 3-race series that was taking place at Oswego Speedway. And I've got the guy who won 2 out of 3 of them, including this past one. Mike Ordway Jr., we believe, is at the top of the points, but he doesn't know because he doesn't look. We'll explore that in a little bit. They've got 2 more races to go, Claremont on August 26th, and then the Star Classic on September 17th. By the way, the Jennerstown race that was rained out earlier, they are not going to reschedule that. They tried to. They couldn't get it worked out, so I wanted to make sure I got that out to you. So let's head up to Windham, Maine. Mike Ordway Jr. is the man on a mission right now with the International Supermodified Association. He joins us. How you doing, man?
Oh, not too bad.
How was it?
It was good. We not quite as good as the second race there where we won, but obviously it was good enough.
And you inherited the lead in this one, started 4th. A lot of times when you're getting ready and you're getting pushed off for the big race, you have a feeling of how your car is. Did you think you were good enough to win as they were pushing you out there?
I thought we had a pretty good shot at it. I had talked to Michael Barnes at the redraw. He, unfortunately for him, he broke leading. But I knew our car was good pretty much most of the day. So I knew we'd have a fairly good shot in the race. But the car for Vic Miller that Michael Barnes was driving, I've driven that car several times over the years for those guys, and I know they have quality stuff, and I knew they were going to be on their A game for the feature. And same thing with Mark Salmon. He's been around forever. He started on the pole, and he's won at Oswego before. Tyler Thompson started right inside of me in 3rd, and obviously he's won at Oswego and does a really good job there. So I knew we'd have our work cut out for us. There were some faster cars behind us, and just, kind of did what we could and stayed in the mix.
So did you lay back a little at first? Isn't starting on the outside? No?
There's not 60 laps there. It seems like quite a ways as the track's fairly big, but, I knew Michael wasn't going to hold back from the outside pole, and I knew, Mike Lichty and Otto and all those guys were going to be coming. So it's, you kind of just got to go and then see how things play out.
Okay. And doesn't Tyler Thompson have a reputation of he always goes, right?
He seems to. Tyler's he gets up on the wheel and he gets the most that he can out of the car, and he does a good job. He's won the Classic and he's won some big races out there. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've heard a lot he likes to go fast early and kind of play that role of the rabbit if he can. But obviously, if you're not in the lead, you can't do that. So do you have to pace yourself in this race, or can you go pretty hard the whole way?
No, it's pretty much flat out the whole way.
Interesting. So what was that like then? So you're sitting on the outside. Did you fall back to 3rd or 4th right away, or did you get around Tyler?
No, he beat me on the start. Actually, they had the initial start. I beat him, and they had a yellow right on the first lap. So they had a restart, obviously, and then he ended up beating me. So I was 4th. Was able to get back around him, and then was able to get around Mark Salmon a couple laps later, and kind of hung with Michael Barnes. Like I said, in open track, he was better than us. I could maintain 2, 3, 4 car lengths behind him, but I couldn't really challenge him.
I see.
A couple times we got to lap traffic. I was able to show him a wheel and kind of get near him, but nothing. I wasn't able to complete any type of pass on him, until he broke.
I know this next question is tough to ask, but I still have to ask it. And I know you really don't know, but did you have a feeling you were going to be able to get him? Because it was 10 laps to go when he broke, right?
It was. No, like I said, I knew, at that point, I knew he was better than us in open track. The only hope that I had, we were catching a group of 3 lap cars that were racing each other pretty heavy. And ISMA, they don't use the passing flag, so it's kind of a disadvantage for the leader.
Sure is.
So I thought that was my only chance, and we probably would have caught them with, maybe 8 laps to go. So, I don't know what would have happened.
What happened to Michael?
I think something in the ignition.
Okay, and that was it. So, did you see him just pull down, or did he stop on the track, or what
Yeah,
happened?
so when it initially started on him, I was, I don't know, 5 or 6 car lengths back, and I knew I gained on him fairly quick, and then his car was able to get back up to speed through the corner, and then, it I guess essentially quit again, as he got to the straightaway, and I was able to run up on him, and then I got to the outside of him, and I knew at that point, as fast as he had been, I knew something had gone wrong. I actually thought that he ran out of fuel, but I believe they said it was ignition.
Okay, so now you had a restart with 10 to go. Who was behind you?
Mike Lichty was behind me on the restart, and Otto was behind him. And once we got to clean air, as I was the leader on the restart. The clean air is huge for those cars, and was able to pull away.
Do you have to heat your tires back up again, or no? After a caution?
Yeah, you just scuff back and forth under caution, try to keep as much heat in them as you can, and try to keep them cleaned off.
Mm-hmm. And don't accidentally turn it too much and spin out while you're leading under caution. So.
Yeah, right.
Told me you don't look at points, huh? How come?
I don't. I just never been into points racing. I won the championship at Lee in a 350 super modified back in 2005, and ever since then I've never really raced for points. We just take it one race at a time. We've been fortunate enough to finish second in ISMA points twice in my career, but like I said, I don't have any type of social media and don't spend much time on the internet, so I kind of just show up and drive the car and see what happens.
So you've never won an ISMA championship?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully we didn't jinx it there. But another thing that makes it tough, too, is I'm sure people come up to you and tell you, don't they?
Yeah, sometimes they do, or, they ask about it, or, ask if you're going to be able to catch up or maintain, a lead if you have one or whatnot. But like I said, I try not to put too much thought into it.
Well, then we won't put any more thought into it now. So let's look ahead to the next track, Claremont. Tell me a little about that place.
That's a tough place to race. It's in New Hampshire. I grew up, a couple hours from there. I've ran there a handful of times. I ran there in a midget. I ran there in a tour type modified a couple times. Ran there with ISMA last year. It's a tough place to race. There's some guys, John McKennedy, for instance, has run a ton of races there. So he's been successful there. And it's a neat little place. It's racy, so we'll see what happens.
Got about 2 minutes left. I did want to talk a little about Star because you know me, guys. When I came into this season helping out Danny, I knew nothing about ISMA at all. But one race that everybody kept talking about was Star. Why is that? Why does that seem to be such a popular event?
Oh, just the history of it. It's similar to the Oswego Classic. It's one of the crown jewels of super modifieds. And like I said, it's just got a lot of history. A lot of big name guys have won that race, and it's a fun racetrack. And the Weber family puts on a great event. So usually people look forward to going. And
it's a longer race too.
It is. It's 125 green flag laps.
Oh, green flag laps. Okay.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was 200, but they counted cautions, so
I see.
They reduced it to 125. They don't count the yellows anymore. And I grew up 5 minutes from Star, and my dad won the Star Classic. So
nice.
If I could get that one, that would be big.
So they'll be loading up the fuel cells, and I remember this from last time. No, I will not be asking Mike how many fuel cells he has on the car. So good to talk to you again, man, and maybe I'll see you again after Claremont, okay?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hit the Bluey, guys. Subscribe. We got a lot of cool stuff. We're actually going to Oswego this Saturday, so look for stuff from that next week.